So Israel has killed an 85-year-old obsolete religious cleric, and I can't really see what that is accomplishing, but people are saying that this is a big victory. Lots of stuff to cover. Tel Aviv is getting lit up like a menorah right now, and so are a lot of U.S. military bases. So when Iran said that this was going to be a regional war, they were going to go all in. I mean, it seems like they're making good on their promise. And so we have a lot of footage to go through. I'm just going to go ahead and get started that way because I have so many things to show you. Israel and the United States struck 2 elementary schools, killing 160, last I heard, schoolgirls. Just utterly vile stuff. And we have sycophants like Mark Levin cheering on like how they're liberating the women in Iran by what? Killing schoolgirls? That's liberating women? We're so concerned. Not sure if it's true or not, but did Sorek desalination plant get hit? I did hear that as well, yes. I think that's confirmed. I'm not going to confirm it here, but I have heard reports of that. So it's in keeping with the idea that Iran is going after infrastructure in Israel to, damage its capabilities and its ability to obviously conduct offensives. Here's a video. There's a lot of missile prawn footage. Hello, Saeed. Welcome in. Israelis are fleeing in their promised land. You hate to see it. The Chosenites running around, scared shitless. There's one of the missiles. Almost didn't look real. Did you see that explosion? I was like, is that AI? That does not look real. Whoa. Come on, man. What are you running for? What you running for, bruh? You're not going through with God's assignment. This was his assignment for you all.
Бля, будем здесь, малышка, хуй пойми где, блин.
Whoa, buddy. Oh, man. Do you hear them crying in the background? That is no good. Why would Iran do this? And I can't believe the Board of Peace started this war. An exceptional night in the skies of Palestine, watching the Iranian strikes reach Tel Aviv. The equations are truly changing, it says. That's an interesting way of putting it. So breaking a 78-year-old settler colony has decided it has the right to wipe out a 7,000-year-old country. The Ayatollah didn't steal half my paycheck or force me to fund his genocide. The U.S. and Israeli governments did that. Know your enemy, folks. That's right. Okay, so, going back to that super, like you said, is this AI? This says you won't regret watching this.
Oh my God, Nafal! Shh. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oy vey. Oy vey. Oh my God, נפל בבית שמש. Oh my God, נפל בבית שמש. אחי, נפל בבית שמש.
I thought it was oh my Hashem. Why is he saying God? That's what we say. That's what the goys say. Oh my God. They should say oh my ball. Oh my Malek. Oh my Hashem. Malek. It'd be funnier if you just heard like demon noises in the background. Like what? The demons are restless, folks.
Whoa! Oh my God!
Oh my God! Don't say God, that's our word, okay?
Oh my God,
La cream! Ephraim, get the cream! I think is what he said. It's important to stay lubed up when you're in the promised land. You never know when you have to wiggle yourself out of a slippery situation. Apparently, Iranian missiles struck Ben Gurion Airport. That was being reported 3 hours ago. And I just want to also just tell you, everything we see here doesn't necessarily mean it's true. Obviously, we're wading through the fog of war, folks. We don't know what's true. Okay, I had a hard time coming to grips with the fact that Ali Khamenei was dead, because it was just Israel saying it for such a long time. They were claiming it's like, well, Israel lies. And we also know that Israel will lie about that in order to force or entice the Iranians into showing themselves. Like, you say Khamenei's dead. Well, Khamenei's about to give a speech. And then once he makes his presence known, then they target him again. So a lot of people were saying this could be, false. This could be fake news. And then once Trump said it was official, and then I still didn't believe it then. And then finally, hours later, just before I logged on for the stream, it was confirmed by the Iranian government and Iranian state TV, breaking the official announcement of the martyrdom of the supreme leader of the Islamic Revolution of Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. So this is according to state TV and the Iranian government itself. I'm not even sure if he tried to hide, really. I mean, I know they said that they evacuated him from his residence. So I'm only led to believe that subsequent strikes were successful. I mean, materially, I don't think that this changes anything. It's not a victory for the empire. It's a symbolic execution designed to influence certain factions in the Iranian population to popularly revolt, I guess. But I think that's so far-fetched. I mean, obviously they're going to pick a new cleric. They're going to announce a new leader. They're going to have people in charge that are going to, replace any assassinated leaders. So it doesn't really change anything operationally, I would not presume,
السلام عليه يوم ولد ويوم يموت ويوم يبعث.
Okay, so that was the official statement from the Iranian government just earlier today. Ayatollah Khamenei is dead, but Iran fights on. Iran is strong and resilient. Here's Iranian ballistic missiles flying toward their target, seen from a plane. Goodness grief. I thought all the planes would have been grounded. Unless somebody's going to be like, no, that's AI. That doesn't get as high as me, though. I'm the highest there is. So apparently the Mia Khalifa was struck. I'm so distraught by this. They're saying it looks prettier with the smoke around it. But can you believe that? That's so crazy. The fact that 5-star hotels are getting touched in Dubai and the richest city in the world, the Western Imperial Pearl in the Middle East, that is Dubai, getting touched, and with these obscene creations, these skyscrapers that are so, gaudy. Look at that. A building can withstand a strike and not completely collapse. I'm looking at you, Twin Towers. Look at that. Partial damage for partial collapse, not partial damage for total collapse, right? A lot of people are talking about this, and we saw this this announcement last night from our president, who couldn't be bothered to go to the White House and deliver a presidential address from the Oval Office like we're so used to seeing when presidents have to announce that we're going to war. And he couldn't even take off his hat, not even in solemnity for the American servicemen and women who are going to risk and perhaps lose their lives. He can't even show his face, really, because his cap was covering his eyes. He did not look very confident. He looked very deflated, defeated. And I was listening to Scott Ritter. He said the same thing. It appears like he was forced to give this. He was like being held at gunpoint to give this announcement. And I think, by my estimation, he understands that this is a lost cause, that this is potentially political suicide for Donald Trump, who certainly won't survive the midterms if this continues to drag on. Heavy Iranian strikes on 3 separate sites in Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv's getting lit up, like I said, pummeled, in fact. And they haven't, according to one IRGC commander, they haven't even unleashed their new stockpile. It's all old missiles up until this point. Here's a post about Bahrain. America's getting absolutely screwed by Bahrain in Bahrain. Air defenses are depleted. Iran stopped using missiles and is using cheap mass manufactured drones. Locals are celebrating. Damn. The locals are celebrating. It's almost like the Middle Easterners don't appreciate the American occupation. You don't like our military bases on your sovereign soil? You anti-Semites. Zionists are crying, literally crying about Iran's missiles. Israeli reporter says, we're stuck under the rubble. Iran is making it difficult for first responders.
You can see here the site of a direct impact in Tel Aviv. First responders are currently digging through the debris of the building behind me. They just pulled 2 civilians out. There were a number of injuries at this location, but the ongoing ballistic missile fire is making it incredibly difficult for these first responders to look for survivors, because every time the siren goes off, they have to rush into a nearby shelter and get underground.
Not the consequences of our actions.
But you see here the
Damn it.
massive amount of destruction to this building, a residential block, and they are bringing dogs in. There are still firefighters on the scene putting out the blaze inside the building.
Yeah, that was off just a drone, exactly. And it wasn't even, the crazy part is that it was like, I think I could run faster than the drone was, speeding toward its target. It was flying very slowly. And the fact that like an American military base couldn't stop that?
And they're using megaphones to call out to see if there are any survivors still trapped under the debris. This is the most significant impact since the war erupted early this morning with the Israeli strikes and American strikes against Iran, where we can confirm Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei, was killed along with 40 top leaders from the Islamic regime.
Wah. And the Department of War calls this Operation Epic Fury. And of course, everyone's trolling the Pentagon, calling it Operation Epstein Fury or Operation Epic Fail. I like that one too. Let's go back. All right, continuing on. The Kuwait airport here's a video of it just for Netanyahu. U.S. has put all of its allies in the region in serious danger. Yeah, this is what you get when you support Israel. You get a blown out airport.
Hey. Drone.
Yeah, that's true. Operation Epstein Furries. I thought of that too. Epstein. What did somebody else say? Epstein Files. Operation Epstein Files.
درون
شفتها شايفها بس في الماضي الحقيقة
لا بس ضربت
انا شفتها كنت بالساعة.
The airport in Tel Aviv, you ask? I believe that it was touched by the Iranians earlier today. I saw one report of that. I can't confirm it, but apparently Ben Gurion Airport suffered a strike. Oh, and did you see that? Of course, Netanyahu. We'll show this to you. Actually, I mean, we saw the carnage there. But I want to talk about Netanyahu fleeing like a coward. It's a pretty funny story. Here's some more footage of Tel Aviv. Oy vey. Here is North Korea. They built nukes, and look at them. They're being left alone. That's the moral of the story, folks. So, like I was saying, Dubai's Mia Khalifa has been hit by an Iranian drone. They hit a very specific location. Look at this. Perhaps the office of a high-profile individual. So here comes this drone. You'll see. Boom. Talk about a precision strike. Certainly they won't come for us in the Mia Khalifa. Wrong. So, apparently Iran is making hotel prices more affordable again. If you want to stay in Dubai, one of the richest cities in the world, right now, you can do that at a discount. Yep. So people are leaving Google reviews on the Fairmount Palm Hotel in Dubai after the missile strike earlier today. Somebody says, I do not recommend it. A rocket hit our room. Anton says, there's no air defense systems, 1 star. Emin says, we give it 4 stars, rocket debris in front of us, stay safe, guys. So rocket debris, really, it gets you 4 stars, not 5. You lose a star if your hotel gets hit by an Iranian missile. Still a 4-star stay, though. Here's another video of Israeli soldiers fleeing a bombing while crying. and presumably soiling their diapers. Tintara Israel iminanchis kisakitan setela dirtampiko katalakalakitikirk. I'm trying to read that. I can't do it. Sorry. Oh my God, that's not just crying. That's like whimpering pathetically. That's like you're not a man. You've never faced adversity. You're not acting like you've been there before. You're behaving like a goddamn rook with snot coming out your nose. They need to wipe their nose. Well, that answers that age-old question we always ask them. Have they tried crying about it? Indeed, they have in epic fashion. Look at this. I like maps. They tell a story. Just in, all the countries here have been hit by Iran. It's the largest war by land mass in history. I don't know if I'd say that. I mean, I think there's a couple world wars that would take the title, but so we got Israel, Jordan, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Bahrain, United Arab Emirates. What the is Erbil? That's a country? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8 countries. So I don't know what Erbil is. It's definitely not a country. It's a city. If it's a city, why didn't they just put the country that it's attached to? It's a base. I know, but what country is the base in? Oh, it's in Kurdistan. It's like that gray area where it's like, the borders are they're very disputed. So it's technically Iraq. So, I mean, but Iraq is sort of an ally. But why would, is it safe to say that Iraq and Iran are kind of allies? So are we saying that Iraq has an American base that Iran struck? Operation Placate Trump's ego? Among other things, yes. And while Trump is bombing Iran, this is what Alabama looks like. But hey, Alabama. Just kidding. I don't agree with it. I'm just saying that that's what we do, and from a policy standpoint. Here's a video of Al Udeid.
What the
is right? Like Americans saying what the Also, we've received reports that Iran has struck and totally obliterated the advanced radar system that the Americans and Israelis use and have stationed in Qatar. I think it's at Al Udeid, and that has wiped out basically Israel and the Americans' ability to track these hypersonic missiles that are targeting Israel. Which leaves Israel very exposed. And I think that's what we've seen. We've seen for a large part, Iran has attacked a lot of these military bases, as we just saw in the Middle East, and they are going after like infrastructure, resources, supply chain type stuff to make sure that, when the second round comes in, it's like you've depleted all the defensive capabilities. So that seems to be the calculus happening right now at this stage. So this is the Wikipedia entry for this new recent war. It's called the 2026 Israeli Pedos versus Sand People. I'm sure this is real. On 28th of February 26, Epstein Island Boys and the American Pedo Alliance launched a joint attack on various targets in Iran. The operation, codenamed Law of Return by Israel and Operation Epstein by the United States Department of War, began with a series of strikes against locations in Tehran, Isfahan, Qom, Faraj, and Kermanshah. Explosions were observed as Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz confirmed an attack by the IDF. So I wonder, well, I don't think we'll know for any certain amount of time who exactly got in Israel, who were the targets. Because I think it's safe to say if Israel's, targeting the leadership in Iran, it's fair game for Iran to target the leadership in Israel, and I'm sure that's what they're doing. And I heard also that the Mossad headquarters, which is strategically positioned, embedded, if you can believe this, embedded in the civilian architecture in downtown Tel Aviv, for a political reason, of course, they did that. And that was apparently toasted. I don't know to what extent, but it did get touched. The Israeli Defense Forces have confirmed that Jeffrey Epstein has been moved to a safe bunker in Tel Aviv. Whew, I'm relieved. And just to all the American servicemen and women, just don't forget what you're fighting for, okay? Never forget. Richard Medhurst is reporting that the Strait of Hormuz is closed and the Red Sea as well, and that is because of the Houthi blockade. So Yemen has just entered the chat. This is a despicable post from Roseanne Barr, who says that if you're mad that women are gaining freedom, you may be a terrible piece of shit. And so what women is she talking about? She's talking about the women in Iran who need liberation, right? They need American liberation. Well, that's really interesting because she says this in defense of the Israeli-American strike against 2 elementary schools, which killed 160 schoolgirls. So this is women gaining freedom? Yeah, they're liberating women in Iran. They're liberating them from their bodies. It's like, we want to liberate them from their clothes. Okay, well, you liberated them from their bodies. Whoops. It's like Epstein goes, whoops. Apparently, this is the footage of the headquarters of the U.S. intelligence service in Dubai. I think China and Russia are helping. I think China is for sure, and I know that Russia is as well. It's just that they're not providing, like, boots on the ground or, any military actions on their part. But they have supplied a lot of defensive infrastructure, including an advanced radar system that is tracking the stealth B-2 bombers and a lot of the fighter jets that the Americans have scrambled in the region. Here's satellite imagery released by China. Just that, there you go. Case in point. It shows that Ali Al Salem Air Base in Kuwait is totally destroyed, according to Suleiman. And I don't know if, that's totally destroyed, but it's definitely a lot of fires have been started. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 there. One really serious fire happening over here, but it looks like it got touched a couple times. And that's, again, like we said, Iran going after infrastructure and the resources in the supply chain that Israel needs to protect itself from Iranian missiles, and also offensive capabilities of the Americans. Apocalyptic scenes leaking from Tel Aviv, even though massive censorship is underway. So that looks like downtown Tel Aviv. Is it the Mossad headquarters? We don't know. But it's one of the targets that they've hit. Thank you, Coffee Lover. I appreciate that. We're just covering the war happening, day 2 of this stupid fucking pedo war. This is crazy. This is just, corporate media in America being corporate media in America.
That you could if necessary. So to be clear, are you committing that Iran is not and will not build missiles that would have the capability to reach the United States?
I love how dumb these anchors are.
I can confirm, yes.
Sir, if that's a red line for you, why is attacking U.S. military bases abroad justified?
But because they are attacking us. They are.
Can you believe the dumbassery of that question? Like, these military bases are being used to attack Iran right now, and they're attacking those bases. It's just those bases happen to be in this country or that country. It's like, tell us again how you want to self-report your own ignorance in the field of geopolitics. NBC News, thank you.
U.S. military,
he, you can see it on his face. He's so bemused. Like, you fucking idiot. He's like, what?
Installations.
Whoops.
So for clarity, you said that you're...
Wait, let's go back. I'm sorry. I exited out on that.
But because they are attacking us. They are U.S. military, installations, facilities, bases who are attacking us. We are under attack.
Sir, why are you aggressively attacking our military bases that are aggressively attacking you? I can't compute. Hello? Is there anything there? I really wonder if she could wipe that dumb look off of her face after she fires away with the last synapse that works in her tiny brain.
Why don't you recognize this fact? We are under the attack by U.S. forces in the region. So we have every right to defend ourselves. And how to defend ourselves? We attacked, the U.S. bases. This is obvious. This is a very simple fact, and I hope that, and I'm sure that people would understand that. We are not the one who attacked Americans. We are only defending ourselves.
I don't know, Brown man. That's not what I heard. That's not what Pete Kegsbreath told me, our DUI hire for the Secretary of War. I'm going to need to fact check everything he just said. Isn't that Arakchi? Yeah, I think that was Arakchi. As far as we know, he's still alive. So here is Netanyahu escaping Israel, fleeing after starting a war with Iran, fleeing his own country, leaving his own citizens to fend for themselves. This absolute giant next level push. And what's funny about this story is that when he took off, I don't know if you guys saw this, but his plane, according to flight radar that was tracking the plane, he had to circle what seemed like hours circling in the Mediterranean Sea because he took off, and he's in this holding pattern because he was on his way to Cyprus, but Cyprus rejected, apparently, I find this incredulous that Cyprus would reject Milikowski, but what is being reported is that they rejected him on the grounds that they didn't want to be struck by Iran. So he's in this holding pattern, and yeah, they don't want to be a target, exactly, Saeed. So they're in this holding pattern, and then they finally have to go book it to Berlin, where he enjoys full state protection, ignoring international arrest order for war crimes against humanity. So there allegedly that's his OMM011. That's his, what do they call that? His flight sign or his call sign, the plane's call sign. So that's how we know it's him. Arriving in Berlin. So he's in Berlin now. Didn't Epstein predict World War III would start this month? Yeah, I think they according to emails, I don't know if it was him, if it was Epstein himself, or if it was through a correspondence. But yeah, he said February 8th, I think. So a little bit off, but he's been dead, right, for like 6 years. So I mean, we'll give him some credit. He was off by a couple weeks. All right, that's that drone strike on the Mia Khalifa. We saw that earlier. Here's a Zionist can be heard crying as Iranian rockets hit Dubai. No more Dubai chocolate. Hey, look on the bright side, man. You know, hotels are really cheap in Dubai right now. Look at this scene from Tel Aviv. This is crazy. Yo. Around and you find out sometimes. Here's Elon Levi. He says he's hard at work at the bomb shelter. Hard at work, please. I said he's just messaging kids about a sleepover. That's all. Donald Trump, this is his Truth Social tweet where he declared Khamenei dead, which ultimately ended up being true. Khamenei, he says, one of the most evil people in history is dead. An 87-year-old religious cleric. From what I understand, it's like assassinating the Pope in the Muslim world. So, you know, I don't understand how that's going to change anything nominally, I mean materially, but this is not only justice for the people of Iran, but for all great Americans, says Donald Jewish Trump, and those people from many countries throughout the world that have been killed or mutilated by Khamenei and his gang of bloodthirsty thugs, all caps. He was unable to avoid our intelligence and highly sophisticated tracking systems and working closely with Israel. This is the single greatest chance for the... Okay, so this is an interesting part of his tweet, because it almost seems as though Trump is offloading the responsibilities of the war that he just started onto the Iranian people. He's basically saying, look, I did my job. This is all in your hands now. And he seems to be trying to wash his hands clean of the affair. He says, this is the single greatest chance for the Iranian people to take back their country. What I think he would be what would be an accurate translation of that would be to say, this is the single greatest chance for Israel to destroy Iran. We are hearing that many of their IRGC military and other security and police forces no longer want to fight. Yeah, sure. And are looking for immunity from us. As I said last night, now they can have immunity. Later, they can only get death. Hopefully, the IRGC and police will peacefully merge. with the Iranian patriots and work together as a unit to bring back the country to the greatness it deserves. That process should soon be starting in that not only the death of Khamenei, but the country has been in only one day very much destroyed and even obliterated, just like it was obliterated, as you said, in June of last year, Donald Trump. Apparently obliteration, is incremental. I didn't know that. The heavy and pinpoint bombing, however, will continue uninterrupted throughout the week or as long as necessary to achieve our objective of peace. Yes, peace through war. Peace throughout the Middle East and indeed the world. Thank you for your attention to this matter, he says. Here's another impact. You see how the interceptors were completely ineffectual in stopping that missile? And you notice this is exactly what Todd Postal was saying, who is like a missile expert. And he said that the interceptors, they have to come head on to the missile for all these various reasons and the machinations of the interceptor itself and how the missile is coming. It's far easier to intercept the missile if you're dead on. And look what happened there. We just saw that attempt made, but it was not successful. Well, let's watch again. So there's the interceptors. It looks like there's two of them. And see how they go far out in front of them, in front of the missile to get in front of it, right? And then completely on a dime, no pun intended, because it is a Jewish missile, a Jewish interception. But they turn on a dime and go straight towards the I guess it's a hypersonic. I mean, it's probably one of the older ones, but again, I'm not a weapons expert. I'm not a military expert, so just disclaimer. But it's just interesting because I learned this from Todd Postal, and here we see it in action. He was exactly outlining this process. And boom. And it slides by. It slides by its defenders, and it scores a touchdown. Yeah, the interceptor intercepted the interception. Yo. And that's all they love to say when there's a goal. They're like, yo. Up, all the chicken swingers are running. Look at that. You saw the last one there? He dropped his little tiny hat. He had to pick it up off the floor. He had to fish it off the floor. I wonder if there's like a rule, like if you drop your tiny hat, do you have to like go choke a chicken immediately? Look at that. Pick that hat back up, soldier. You got a diaper to soil. That's orders.